Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmi, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Habari Live, where we keep you updated with the news, sports, and entertainment throughout the week. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. This week, man, we have a very, very, very special guest, man. We have a very special gentleman who came in to talk about his story, and it's been well documented. We also have a book that was wrote about this. Let's welcome Ralph Coltrin to the show. Now, he is a survivor of Mount Baldy tragedy that happened back in 1958, right?
That's correct.
Where six young boys that were when they were ages 12 to 17 went onto a mountain on the Boy Scouts trip, right? And 3 didn't come back, unfortunately.
Right.
Tell us a little bit, man, about your experience, Ralph, and let's go. We're gonna go straight into that, and we'll talk about your story, your history a little bit more after that. But tell us about how your experience through that night and what you remember and some of the vivid things. I know it's hard to talk about, but some of the things that you remember from that night.
Yeah, well, we go back to start that this was set up at a scout meeting and okayed by the scoutmaster.
Wow.
And there was originally 10 boys to go on the hike.
Okay.
And but 3 of the boys went to the wrong location, so that's how they missed out. And the 10th boy couldn't get permission from his parents.
Wow.
So the 6 of us went up, and Mike Early's dad drove us up in an old Studebaker, looked just like the one from the Muppet Story, Muppet movie rather.
Right.
Looked just like that, and he drops us up there at the lodge, and we get out. He turns around and drives off, and I thought, well, that's strange. I thought he was going to stay with us, and
Right.
But being 12 years old, I said, well, that's not a problem. I'd be all right.
We'll be okay.
But so the lodge then is that's another mile from the trailhead, so that added a little bit to our hike.
Right.
We had to carry our the bedrolls and backpacks that mile there instead of dropping them off. So we get there and we pair off 2, 2, and 2, and had a little sandwich, and we start up the trail about 1:15 in the afternoon. Which, if you've been there, that's not enough time to make it to the top and back. But that's the first time for me. I had no idea.
Now, you said, I want to make sure people know exactly where this is located. You said it's back then. You guys called it Mount Baldy.
We called it Mount Baldy.
But what is it called now?
It's Mount Wrightson.
Mount Wrightson.
Or Madera Canyon.
Oh, Madera. Okay.
Is exactly where it was.
Okay.
And but to make the hike to the top and back is it's probably 8 hours.
Wow.
Is normally.
So what did your parents think about it? They knew you were a troop and you had history with doing that, and they were okay with you going into these type of situations?
Yeah, we get into a big long story there. I'm one of 12.
Right.
So we did a lot on our own growing up.
Yeah. You got 11 other brothers and sisters.
I had 7 sisters and 4 brothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big family, man.
There was the quick and the hungry.
Right.
So like I say, it's way too late in the day to make that hike. But we started up, and we, being kids, we probably went a little slower than we would. And I'll say about a mile or so past Josephine Saddle, which you had the mile from the lodge to the trailhead, and then 2.5 miles, and then another mile. That's about 5 miles, I guess we've gone.
Right.
So
at 12 years old,
Ronnie Sepulveda was getting blisters in his feet.
Wow.
And I believe he was wearing loafers with not good hiking shoes. That's explain that. So, and it's getting late. It's probably 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon at that point.
Okay.
These dark clouds are moving in. I mean, just thick black clouds. Being 12, I thought that was pretty neat.
Right. But what time of the year was it though?
It was in November, but
okay.
November in Arizona is usually pretty pleasant.
Right. It's not a very hot time in November.
Weather forecast was for nice weather.
Right, exactly. It was supposed to be 80 degrees, sun temperature 81. So it was supposed to be a nice day.
Right. And during that day, though, the temperature did drop 80 degrees in 12 hours.
Wow.
It was quite a change. But getting back to where Ronnie got the blisters, he's done, so we're deciding whether we're all going to go back then, which we probably should have.
Right.
But it was the birthday of 2 of the boys that ultimately perished, and they wanted to sign the book on top.
Yeah.
They thought they were close, but they were probably 2-3 hours away. And so, I kind of wanted to go up too because I thought the black clouds were kind of fun to be in.
Right.
Older now, I know it's not.
Right.
But we couldn't leave Ronnie by himself, so Lou Burgess asked me to stay with him. And he said, well, they're only going to go about another 20, 30 minutes and then come back. Well, he comes back and he says, well, the 3 boys, they're going to try to go. And it's 5 o'clock now and it's getting dark. Right. And we're way up the mountain.
Right.
So we start back down. We had one flashlight. Before we get to Josephine Saddle, it's completely dark.
Right.
We get to our base camp about 7:30, and we go up to our little spots. We were, like I said, we had 2 and 2 before. Well, it turned out there was 1 from each spot missing. So we essentially spent the night alone, and just expecting the other 3 to come back.
Right, to come on back anytime, right?
Yeah. And about 9 o'clock, started to rain. Temperatures getting lower and lower. Midnight turned to snow.
Wow.
Ended up snowing for 3 days.
Wow.
I'll go on about the rest about us, and then I'll go back to the other 3 boys after that. But so about 4:30, the other 2 boys came to where I was to get out of the snow.
Right.
Tried to build a fire, and too much snow, and couldn't do that. And the next morning, around 8, 9 o'clock, it was decided that I would go to the lodge and get help. And during the night, I had taken my boots off. And so when I pull them back on, my hands are so cold, I can't grab the laces.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I watch these movies where people are doing stuff out in the cold.
Right.
Boy, you can't do that.
No, you can't do nothing.
It was, the temperature was below 0 then. And so I got them on there, flopped open. It's a mile to go down to the lodge. The snow was, 1.5, 2 feet. And I get about halfway down, I see somebody coming up, and it turned out to be John Hurley, the father of Mike Hurley, who drove us up. And the first thing he says to me is, where's the boys? Boy, they hit me hard. And so I'm looking down, he's wearing moccasins.
Wow.
And he ultimately went to Josephine Saddle wearing moccasins in snow.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I take him back up to
where you guys are at, right?
And then Ronnie and I go back down to the lodge. He had lost his shoes, so he ran down. He was barefoot.
Oh, my goodness.
And there was no telephones. And ultimately, we found a gentleman that had shortwave radio, and he called somebody in Kansas on his radio, who called somebody in Tucson, and that's how they got a hold of the authorities. And but that was slow coming. I mean,
right.
But I think thinking back, if that night, if we'd gone right on down to Lodge, it was too late. I'll tell you what I think happened to the other three boys. I'm pretty sure they were 20, 30 minutes behind us. And at Josephine, they went left instead of right.
They got lost.
Well, like, it was dark, and
Right.
in those days, you could do that. The way that trail was. About a half mile from there, there was the phone line that went across the trail, and I believe Mike Early tripped over the phone line because his father told me he had a broken leg.
Oh my goodness!
So, and he was the oldest. So,
Right.
So they're stuck there. He's not. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
And they had built a nice campfire. I got a photo somewhere of it, but I mean, it had the rocks around it. It shows to me that they were there before the weather. So they probably got there that spot about the same time we got down below.
Right.
But back in those days, everybody wore cotton, and they're out in the open.
Right.
And the 3 hours of rain,
hypothermia,
that does it.
Yeah.
And like I say, the temperature dropped below zero.
That's it's such a sad story. And you guys, I mean, how much training did they give you guys for situations like that in the Boy Scouts? Because you were with Troop 70 you were in, right?
I don't know how you could train for that situation.
Right.
It reminds me of a movie called Jeremiah Johnson. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I never saw it.
There was a scene in the opening where he comes upon an experienced mountain man frozen to death.
Right.
The reason he died, he had a broken leg. So there's experience for you.
Right.
And they would just, it's a stroke of bad luck. What can you do?
Man. And it's amazing, man, that you guys were even able to come out of the situation alive, because you guys could have also hypothermia could have set in
big
easily.
Difference for us is we stayed dry. That's what saved us. We never had a fire. They had a nice fire, but that 3 hours of rain.
Because you guys were in could you show the makeshift the tent that you guys were in? Go ahead, show that for them. She gonna put it on the camera.
Go this way, or
can they see it? Can you see it? Put it up a little bit more. So this is this is what you guys stayed in through the night, right?
Yeah. This is a recreation. It's not exactly like that, but it gives you an idea how we spent it. There was a piece of canvas over one half of it, and there was 2 bedrolls in there because there was just me and Mike LaNoue initially. But Ronnie, during the night before he got over there was extremely cold, and when he got to our picnic table, he was shaking violently.
Wow!
And so Lou and I, hugged him between us and tucked him in a bedroll, and that probably saved him. And I always wanted to talk to him about that. I looked for him since then.
Wow!
And I could never find him because come to find out, last year he passed away last year, and he was adopted as a teenager and changed his name.
Oh, wow!
But I got to meet his family, and especially his oldest son. Really enjoyed him and learned a lot about him.
Yeah.
So really cool.
I know later on that one of the plaques of one of the kids was lost, and someone wanted to get that replaced, right? Tell us a little bit about what happened with that story.
About the markers?
Yes, sir. I think I have it here.
Yeah, actually, if you turn the book over.
Okay.
And that should be a small picture there.
Oh, yeah.
And
definitely.
That's the crosses that
I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, if you pick that up.
They might not be able to.
I've got a bigger one here that I can dig out.
Okay.
But when they found the bodies, the soldiers erected the wooden crosses on the rocks, and then the following summer, John Early and I arranged to have these little metal markers with the names and on there, and we took those up, and then about this time, so that year, I went up with a reporter. They wanted to see the spot. Well, I've been up every year I go up there, but not necessarily to the death side.
To that spot, right?
Yeah. It's hard to go.
Yeah, that's tough, right?
So we go over there and we can't find them. And I showed the picture inside that.
Right.
I'm thinking I'm at the wrong spot, but I got to look at the picture. My son looked at it. We saw a small little tree in that picture, and it's the only pine tree in that area. So we go back, and sure enough, there's one big pine tree there. So we went down there, and there was the first marker for David Greenberg, and I knew it was his from the location. And so we looked around and went down another couple hundred feet, and I found Mike Hurley's marker.
Okay.
But I spent years looking for Mike LaNoue. Because he was, my partner.
Right.
And a strange story. These two guys went up. I know I was taking the people up there. I'm not sure exactly the date of it. But anyway, these two guys went up there just from reading the book, and they found that spot.
Yeah.
I don't know how they found the spot, but they're looking around, and the one guy sits down to rest, and it's right next to him.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's amazing how that happened. So
yeah.
So they both passed by me when, and they don't, I don't say nothing. I don't know who they were,
Right.
They started talking to the people behind me and say, "Hey, anybody know this guy?" Well, yeah, you just passed him. So they come back up, talk to me, and they asked me to describe it. Well, I had no problem doing that.
Right.
So they gave me the marker, and that made me quite pleased to get that back. And
yeah,
it's in a nice frame now. So
that's nice.
Yeah,
that was really nice of him. I think his name was Scott Gallus. Yeah. He the one that was able to find, and it was LaNoue, right?
LaNoue was my buddy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That was really amazing that he was able to do that for you, and then able to find you and hand it to you. That's just amazing. Yeah. I mean, I know it meant a lot to you, especially him being your buddy, and it's really tough, man. You guys were so young. That like I was going to ask you, how long? I know you were 12, so how long did it take for you mentally to wrap your head around what really happened? Did it take you 18, 19, or did you?
I don't know that I'm completely over it, to be honest with you.
Right.
It's for many years, it bothered me until somebody asked the question, "Have I ever had survivor's guilt?" This is, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Why them and not me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we talked about how they finally took them 19 days to find them because the snow was so deep. But
now is that normal on this mountain in Tucson?
They're calling it now 1,000-year storm.
Wow.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, man, that is crazy. I'm just thinking, like, I don't remember hearing about snow like that in Tucson. I don't remember this.
There was 6.5 inches of snow in downtown Tucson.
Wow.
And but anyway, there's at one point 750 searchers looking for them. And they had finally given up, and ultimately they said, "This is the last day. This is it. The search is over."
Right.
And Mike Nagy says, "I'm going to find those boys." And he saddles up his horse and heads up there. And at the spot on the trail where the wire was, his horse stops and won't move. So he had two soldiers with him. One of them went down there, and there they were. So essentially, it was the horse that found them.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's such a sad story. And how were the boys? And can you say the names of the boys who passed away on the mountain?
It was Mike Hurley was the oldest. It was his 16th birthday.
Wow.
And the youngest was David Greenberg. It was his 12th birthday. David Greenberg was a scout for 4 days.
Wow.
And Mike LaNoue, he was 13.
Holy crap, man! 13, and you were the youngest out of the crew at 12.
Well, actually, Ronnie
Okay.
was 11.
Okay. Wow, 11 years old.
Yeah.
I just, man, I can't imagine. I really couldn't even imagine going for a hike in a mountain at 11 years old. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Well, normally it's quite pleasant, you know.
Right, right. It just
You,
freak weather.
you write that and say that couldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even sound like Tucson at all. I mean, it's just so crazy because you're used to the weather here. It's pretty much just like here.
Wherever you experience the temperature dropping 80 degrees in 12 hours.
Man, I've never even heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm from the Midwest. I've never heard of that. So we have a book though. Also, can this book be bought?
Yeah, that book is. I've seen. I know it's at Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
And, it's sure on eBay and Amazon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely. It's by Kathy. How do you?
Kathy Hufalt.
Hufalt. Okay, Kathy Hufalt, and it's on Death Clouds on Mount Baldy, Tucson's Lost Tragedy. Go ahead and go check it out. You can get it, like he said, from Amazon and other places online. Should be a great read because it's a great story. I want to get one myself and make sure I check this out. Wow, I see a picture of your family. Whoa.
I told you, didn't I?
Woo. It's a big family, man. Wow. So I mean that's amazing. So you were originally from California, right?
I was born in Watsonville, California.
Wow, I've never. Is that northern or southern?
It's I guess the biggest city around here is Salinas, I would say.
I'm not familiar. So.
About Hollister.
Yeah, but
Santa Cruz.
What brought your family to say, hey, we're gonna go to Tucson? I know it was a very small town coming from California.
My dad worked for the railroad, and he
okay.
got transferred every so often. And,
okay.
And we ended up in Tucson in 1955.
Wow.
The population here was about 60,000.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Right.
It's so amazing, man. So I mean, I know it was different times then and everything, but you guys were scouts, and scouts was pretty much a big part of your life, because I know scouts was a big deal at that time.
Yeah, my younger brother and I went on hikes, just the two of us, quite often in the nearby areas. Just what we did. There wasn't a whole lot of TV back in those days.
Right. It was nothing else to do.
You had to go outside and play.
You had to actually go do things.
Use your imagination.
Right.
Wasn't any video games.
Right, man. So I mean, you went on to going into the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I spent a few years in the Marine Corps. Most of the in the railroad. I spent 43 years Southern Pacific Railroad.
Wow. So you followed your pop's footsteps, huh?
Yeah.
So what was that like? I mean, has working in the railroad, man, I know it's coming. The technology has changed so much from then to there, and then now we don't even use the railroads like we should. I wish we used them more for travel instead of all these planes everywhere.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, the railroad was a lot of fun to work for.
Oh yeah.
Then the last few years got to be work, and I said, "It must be time to go."
Oh man. So I want to ask one thing about the tragedy. I know you said your parents had 12 kids, but how did they react to this? Were they like
Well, that's interesting. On Sunday night, my mother had gotten word that I was okay, but I was still on the mountain. I spent another night up there in one of the cabins. Ronnie and I did.
Right.
And my dad working for the railroad, you can imagine a lot of problems there with the snow. So when he got home late, my mother knew I was okay, so she didn't say anything to me.
Wow.
He got up the next morning, he opened up the paper
and found out.
There's a story, and boy, he come to life then. And
I bet he did.
He drove up there, and he gets to the road heading up to Madera Canyon, and the sheriff says, you can't get through. There's too much snow. And he says, I'm from Montana. You just watch me. He made it up there.
Wow. Yeah, so. Wow. I mean, I know you were talking about the scout leader, and that he didn't want to say that he was a part of you guys going up there. So what? And you said it took him 50 years to change his mind to finally say that he okayed this.
It wasn't the scout. He never did change his story. But
wow,
we did in researching the book. We found 3 other scouts that were not part of the hike, but remember the scout meeting,
right?
And remember the scout masters. Okay, in the hike.
Okay, in the hike.
And so then the Boy Scouts of America, the Canadian Council, wouldn't call it a Boy Scout function at that time. And I gave a talk in 2008 to quite a large group of people, including them, and they came up to me afterwards and agreed with me that it was a Boy Scout function.
Yeah.
After 50 years.
50 years. Oh man, people want to just sweep everything under the rug. I don't understand.
That's crazy.
I mean, just take responsibility for what happened. You know what I mean? You the guy was responsible for these kids. Did he ever check? Did he himself come to check on you guys or?
No.
Wow.
In fact, when they had the funerals for the boys, there was a couple of scouts came in uniform, and he made them go home and change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember I stayed with the scouts for many years afterwards, and I would go to these functions, and if the subject came up, they'd say, "Oh no, that was just some kids."
Wow.
No, it wasn't just some kids.
Oh man, people. Yeah, man, it's such a tragedy, man. But you know, we're happy that you came here to tell us your story and tell us your story. I know your side, and I know it's really hard to talk about. Really emotional for you, because I've lost people, man, but I've never been a part of anything like this. So I know the scars can be deep. You know, those can be. Did you ever talk to anyone or anything like that about anything and these things, or did you feel as though you need to talk to anyone?
There was probably a time, but it never happened. Never really thought about it until these later years.
Yeah. That's, I mean, we were talking about this at work the other day. Sometimes we just don't know, and we just go on, we truck on, you know what I mean? And you just don't know how this could have defined you, or how this could have made things harder or tougher for you throughout your life. And sometimes talking to people could have helped, ease some of that pain. Because I know it's tough, and I know it was tough going through it, your entire life. Because it's, like you said, you have that guilt that you were the person to survive, and that can be so tumultuous in itself. You know what I mean? That's tough.
Yeah, the guy I wanted to talk to was Ronnie Sepulveda. I really wanted to. It bothers me that I could never do that. It helps a little that I talked to his oldest son. That was good.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah. We want to thank you, Ralph. We really appreciate you coming through and talking about this and putting us on this story, because we didn't know. I didn't know about this story, and I want to also thank Priscilla for bringing the story and writing the story. You can go to HabariEntertainment.com and read her nice story she has on this beautiful story on Ralph. And she also has a video online on YouTube that you can go check out that she did. Priscilla did also. Check it out on www.HabariEntertainment.com. Let's go. Let's take a quick commercial, bro, and we'll be right back with more Ralph Coltrin.
Because they try to
welcome a couple things
has and bag everybody.
So
Wow.
they did a little helicopter. I showed you this, and this bringing the boys back.
Wow. Look at that, man. Yeah, show this here. That's amazing.
So,
Man, and those guys are what are they National Guard troops or
well, they were from Fort Huachuca. So.
okay. Man. And look at what they're using to carry them. They just made a makeshift
Well,
little.
they've been there for 19 days, so they were in good shape.
Mm-hmm. It's so sad, man.
This was a story that went nationwide. It was in Newsweek magazine, among others. So
wow. Wow. So I mean, so now today you can still go and you can see this here. That when you go past the marker, this is pretty much what you see.
Looks like at Josephine Saddle. Yes,
mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different, but a couple of years ago it fell over and broke, and I had to repair it. And actually, it's a better shape now. I had a place in Tucson that encased it in acrylic, so it'll last a lot longer. And they when they found out what it was for, they didn't even charge for it.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's dope for them. Dope for them.
Now I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to mentally prepare to go back on the mountain? Did you go back to it?
Yeah, he took other people on
like how long did it take you for you know what I'm saying for you to be ready to?
I went back with Mike Early's dad, and that following January.
Wow, you were a tough kid, man.
And then I spent a lot of time with John Early.
Yeah. You were a tough kid, man. Like you said, we went you went to work the next day, or was it the next day? As soon as you got back down,
throwing papers,
right? But that was your job, and you were still working. You said, "Let me go do my job."
I need my money.
Most people would have used that as an excuse to not do anything. They went through something like that. I mean, they probably would have took the whole year off. You know what I mean? It was you was a tough kid, man. I know you probably because you had so many brothers and sisters. You was raised up in a tough family. You know what I mean? But hey man, that's. You're a tough kid, man. Kids ain't that tough anymore. You know what I mean? This is one of the stories that really let you know kids can do more than we think they can. You were 12 doing things like this. We couldn't imagine. Nowadays, we'll be umbrella parenting them and don't want them to do things like this. I understand it's a tragic situation, but you still were able to, truck through it. And I think you hiked all the time. And I'm just saying that we don't have to be we can let kids to do some things. You guys should have had a lot more parenting and checking up on you. That guy should have checked up on you, the troop guy, and the person who dropped you off also. He probably could have checked on you guys to make sure where you guys were going, where you guys were going. And
we're under 3 feet of snow that night, but it hadn't snowed in Tucson yet.
Right.
So when he left Tucson, there was no snow. So he got up there and couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's amazing that snow came. It's hard to me to wrap my mind around it because it's just out of nowhere snow. I mean, people,
right?
You wouldn't know, but
you all having a good time,
right? Exactly. It's just a tough story, man. And you do a lot of money Monday morning quarterbacking it. I know you have for 50 years if you thought about it. Yeah. So you just me thinking about it.
Some people ask me how do you remember all that, but one thing that happened during the search, my mom sets me down and says, I want you to sit down right now and write out everything you remember.
Wow.
And I still have those notes.
Wow.
And they're in the book, actually. So that was,
wow.
I asked her, I said, why should I do that? She says, well, someday you're going to want them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And you're still talking about it.
Yeah. There's that.
To this day.
Yeah. So that's the big
that was
deal.
A good idea that she did that for you.
Yeah, man. That's huge. That's huge, man. All right, man. Run the news.
Now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison. Sponsored by...
No one. Hold on, I'll be right back. This week, man, we want to talk about...
Hold on, I'll be right back.
We have the cluster bombs that's going on in Ukraine. You just want to run you guys down on what's going on with that real fast. The government is giving them some of the cluster bombs for Ukraine to be able to stop Russia and some of the attacks that they are doing in their areas. The cluster bombs do have a bad history because they are like if they don't explode, they can be left as mines and it can be dangerous to civilians. The Ukraine said that they are going to make sure that there's cleanup. And they do everything they can to clean up the mines and everything after this is all over. But it's definitely a controversial decision for them to release these bombs to them, but they got to do what they got to do, man, to protect their home, man. It's a crazy world we're living in right now. We still got people trying to take over countries, but this is what Russia's on. So I think what I have next here. Next, I had man, don't tell me. What else I got?
Joe Biden.
That was it. Hold on, I'll tell you. Oh. We got the Twitter story, the Meta story. Twitter threatens to sue Meta after rival app Threads gains traction.
I think they sent them a cease and desist.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I haven't looked at it yet. So is it exactly like Twitter or what?
Kind of.
I'll download it. Y'all know.
You're able to make your little news clip posts like you do on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But with Threads, you get to keep your Instagram username. You get to keep your followers. It all falls through. You can basically have conversations on Threads like you would on Twitter.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Is there a monopoly? Twitter's been around for a while.
They've been around more than 10 years.
Right. So isn't the monopoly rule after 10 years you can copy their product?
Yep.
So I don't understand what the basis of their suing. But anyway, they threatened Meta with a lawsuit after the blockbuster launch of Meta's new Twitter rival, Threads, and perhaps the clearest sign yet that Twitter views the app as a competitive threat.
Yep.
On Wednesday, an attorney representing Twitter sent Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg a letter that accused the company of trade secret theft through the hiring of former Twitter employees. That's what he get though, dude.
Yep.
He want to fire everybody. He fired everybody.
That's what they was laughing at him about on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because him doing all those layoffs and firings.
They all went to
backfired.
Facebook, and now they gonna make a new app, and we're gonna compete against you because you're killing it. And then he talking about you can only see 600 tweets, and then we gonna ban your access. He just keeps doing stupid stuff.
He upped it.
What to 800?
If you're a non-verified user, you can read 1,000
oh my God.
tweets. And if you are a verified user,
8,000, 6,000.
6,000, 8,000, something like that, yeah.
Man, he's tripping. That's the reason why the people are gonna keep leaving this app. And the racism that's on there now is just ridiculous. You can't even read a story without you seeing somebody just being on some. It's really bad right now. So they're gonna have to do something to get a hold. It's all good. Twitter's done. Just no Thread is gonna be the new Twitter.
Yep.
Because Twitter's done.
They're already calling it the new Twitter.
It's done. And the verification circus turned everyone off.
Yep.
And then somebody, they want things to be able to keep things offline. He think it's okay for all this racism on this platform. That's not okay. But anyway, next we got this SpaceX launch, man. It wasn't a direct launch that I'm talking about, but they're talking that Texas community is talking about some of the impact that the SpaceX launched the most powerful rocket in their environment, and they're saying that it's really destroying the environment. Small pieces of debris are providing them habitat, he said. Then pointed to the launch site just a few hundred feet away as a disturbance as to the life in the environment. They said the environmental impact of SpaceX in this corner of Texas is part of a growing debate among locals over the presence of Musk's expansive company. While they tout the potential economic boom and job opportunities that it brings, they're also talking about that it might have a huge economic impact to those areas. So I just wanted to bring some insight to that, because we never think about the impact of these things. We're trying to get to Mars and do all this stuff, but these rockets that we're blowing up stuff, it's killing the environment in these areas where they can't grow. Habitats is being destroyed. Their homes are being destroyed. The land is being destroyed. So we got to think about the impact on what we're doing when we do these type things, man. We got some Phoenix news real fast.
Real quick.
What up?
I did miss one of the biggest stories that I even paid attention to.
What's that?
That the stuff with the submarine.
Oh man, that's old, man.
I know, and I hate that I missed it. But I don't know if you earlier this week, Ocean Gate suspended all explorations.
Yeah.
In the ocean. And
one thing that was interesting though about it though, that most of the boat was brought up intact, and they saying they was squished by the
pressure.
Pressure. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around that the actual what they were in didn't get crushed also. It's kind of, I don't know, man. It's weird, but whatever. In Phoenix news, we got some sad, tragic news about that the police are still investigating that they stated happened. A woman was found in the alley on Wednesday evening on 24th and Van Buren. Horrible. This has been a bad area forever. But anyway, police found the body and began to interview neighbors and locate any cameras in the area. They still don't know. The woman still hasn't been identified. They still don't know what the cause of death is. Just ridiculous. Then in North Phoenix Trailer Park, we had a woman shot on Friday, 7 a.m. after an argument on the Cave Creek and Greenway.
That's right down the street.
Yeah, man. They rushed her to the hospital, but she passed away, man. So they're still trying to identify the gentleman. Who I ain't gonna say a gentleman, the person. Police believe that they've been in an argument with. So they're looking for them details. This is from them, and this is according to the police. So the woman's identity still hasn't been released though. So we do have Governor Hobbs. She made a big decision on contraceptive medications available over the counter at pharmacies. Adults in Arizona can now obtain contraceptive medications over the counter in pharmacies without a doctor's prescription under governor's orders announced Thursday. Katie Hobbs said the rule will go into effect immediately. It applies to self-administered birth control such as hormonal and oral contraceptives, and patients 18 and older need only completed screening and a blood pressure test. That's something she passed. What you got?
In regards to that over-the-counter prescriptions for the birth control, there have been pharmacies that have already come out and said, even though Katie Hobbs has,
they're not going to do it.
She's immediately effective immediately. We can get the birth control pills over the counter as long as you're 18 and older, and you do the questionnaire and you do the blood pressure test. Pharmacies aren't going to be offering it right away. Pharmacies are not, the reason why they're not going to be offering it right away is because the pharmacists need training in order to give out.
Didn't they just say it's OTC though?
It's over the counter. That means, they can just put it in a bottle and put it on the thing like they do ibuprofen or Motrin.
Right.
But at the same time, the person still has to complete a questionnaire and you got to do the blood pressure test. So those are two requirements that you're going to have to.
That's not really OTC then. What are they talking about?
It's over the counter. It's going to be like a plan B. That's how they're rolling it out, like a plan B. So when plan B first came out, you had to go to the pharmacy and talk to a pharmacist or whatever, and they would give you the medication.
I guess.
Right?
So, I'm thinking over the counter, you just getting it like it's some aspirin or something, you know what I'm saying, in the counter. But you still have, there's still stipulations that you have to go through to get it. But you still can get it from your local pharmacy, so that's over the counter.
Exactly. It doesn't have
over
to,
the counter with
over the counter
stipulation.
just means you do not have to have a prescription from your doctor.
Right.
You can go to the pharmacy and
get it, but he's going to check a couple things first.
Exactly.
Make sure that you're good.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what that means. I just wanted to
For sure. What you got?
Give that out there. So the WNBA,
Mm-hmm.
they are going to be launching. The WNBA players are launching a 3-on-3 league, as attendance is on the rise for the WNBA
A league.
Yeah, it's a 3-on-3 basketball league.
And they need to add more. Just add more teams.
Just listen. Okay.
All
right. So passionate. He's so passionate.
So Brianna Stewart and Nafesha Coiler are forming the league, which they say will feature 30 of the best WNBA players.
When is it?
And they'll be playing during the winter season. The winter season. So it's going to be off-season playing that they're going to be doing.
All right.
And each team is going to have, the league's going to be 6 teams, 5 players per team. Games will be played in Miami. And the idea of the league is to keep their top domestic stars
from going overseas.
But
to keep them from going overseas, the marketing dollar is just going to have to keep going. They doing well this year. Is doing better, but they have to keep it going and make sure that these companies know that they are a good investment. That's the only thing that's going to keep these. I understand they're trying 3-on-3 and everything, but until their league grows, expands, and they become their own entity and not just so connected to the NBA, they won't be their own. What was the WNBA player that passed away this year?
This year. It wasn't this year.
It was just a couple days ago.
Just a couple days ago. That would have been Coach McCray Penson.
Was it Nikki?
Yeah, Nikki McCray Penson. She was 51 years old. She was a champion player as well as a coach. She's also a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to, put that out there.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace to
Definitely,
her.
and she had a great career. She's a great person. Rest in peace. And we appreciate what you did for everyone. And I would definitely remember watching her growing up in the 90s. Great player.
Yes, definitely. So we'll get a chance to watch Phoenix Mercury play again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They do play again tomorrow.
Who they got, you see?
Yeah, they are playing Sparks tomorrow at 3:30. 3 o'clock.
LA. Okay.
They're playing in Sparks. And then, as you know, Summer League just started. So
yeah, we got Summer League. And you got that. You want to go into Hollywood Hot Mess now?
Yeah, we could do that.
Sorry, he got dunked on. I saw that. You saw that video?
No, I haven't, man.
He got dunked on. Oof.
I already knew he wasn't going to be as good as they thought he was going to be. But go ahead, run it. Hollywood.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan. Sponsored by
No One. If you do go to the website, please go to the banner at the top of the screen for Naked Nutrition. Click on that. You get 15% off for your very first purchase.
Yep.
Go grab you some oatmeal raisin cookies, some whey protein, whatever you like. Chocolate chip cookies, whatever suits you suit. There you go. All right. So in Hollywood, it's not really Hollywood related, but it is kind of Hollywood related.
Hollywood is NBA.
Hollywood made this famous, right? Hollywood stars are the ones that made vampire facials.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Thing.
What the hell is a vampire facial?
A vampire facial is basically where an esthetician will go in and they will draw blood from your arm, and they will take that blood and re-inject it back into your face.
To get more blood into your face, we're supposed to make it look younger, I guess.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a healing.
I thought you was gonna say they was sucking the blood of little kids or something. That's not interesting enough.
But however, these vampire facials that have now become a popular thing, they have been linked to HIV cases in New Mexico. In 2018, VIP Spa in Albuquerque closed after an inspection by the state health department.
I don't understand how it's your blood unless they got it mixed up.
The way they are doing it, they weren't properly cleaning, storing, or labeling their syringes. So syringes were being reused.
That's gross.
Not properly cleaned. So
that's
they
messed
could
up.
have used it from one person's arm who had it and
That's
gave
messed
it
up.
to the next person.
That's just
right?
negligence on the hospital's part.
Which is the reason why this spa closed in 2018. It's because, State Department inspected them and said, they identified practices that could potentially spread bloodborne illnesses, including HIV and hepatitis.
But the thing is, though, you're at a spa. You got people who probably wasn't even trained in how to use these utensils, using this stuff just because for facials and things like that, and they shouldn't even been using them in the first place because they weren't trained to do these type things.
The owner of the spa was charged with practicing medicine without a license.
But it's a facial, though.
She was sentenced in 2022 to more than 3 years in prison after at least 2 people tested positive for HIV.
Is
it 3 apiece or just 3?
What's the name of that stuff? Botox, is that medicine?
Yes, it is.
So those people who do Botox, they have to have a license.
They have to be licensed.
Wow. So you can't just open a spa and do some Botox. You have to actually go to school for years to give people facials.
It doesn't have to be years. You can go to a Empire Beauty School or
plastic surgeons. Plastic surgeons, do they go to school just to be a plastic surgeon?
That's a surgery. So they're going to school for years
for plastic surgery.
Right.
Huh.
But
so like, I want to be. They pick that out. I want to be a plastic, but they make a lot of money too.
They do make a lot of money, right? Yeah. But so far a total of 5 people with
got HIV
to the spa have tested positive for HIV.
Goodness.
A representative from the health department confirmed to Scripps News on Wednesday.
Damn.
So, be careful on who you're getting your vampire facials from.
Man, just stop doing crazy stuff.
Period. Putting other people's blood on your face.
Man, that stuff. Man,
it's not really other people's blood.
You're gonna get old.
They're using their own blood, but it's the syringes in which they're using.
I know they messed up, but you shouldn't be going to no place doing no crazy stuff these Brazilian butt injections. All these ladies keep dying from, like, just doing too much, man.
Right.
Wait,
goodness.
They take their own blood out and put it on their face.
Yeah, but it was the fact that these people wasn't practicing safeties on the syringes.
I still don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? That just
it's crazy. It sounds crazy to me. And just like I was saying the other day, man, I'm reading that the sun only has, like, I know it's a long time,
1 billion years,
but like 1 billion years, and in that 1 billion years, it's gonna come a point where our system won't be able to handle the radiation, and it's gonna burn off our atmosphere, and we're all gonna die.
Well, I'm already be gone by that.
Right, so but my whole point is this planet and this whole solar system is gone. Then it's over.
We'll be long gone before then.
So it's just my thought pattern. It's just like, why do we spend so much time on stupid stuff?
Right.
When this could be over at any second. For real. I mean, they just saying it could be 1 billion, but shit, it could be a day.
Yeah.
Stop. Who cares over the dumb stuff?
There's
you're gonna get old. You're gonna die. It's gonna be over. It's just, hey, man,
you
do what you gotta do.
Don't Look Up.
Nah, I ain't never heard
like
of
Leo. What's his name? Leonardo
DiCaprio.
Nah.
Yeah, nah, I ain't never heard of that.
They
bro.
like, it's pretty much where they find a asteroid that's bigger than Earth coming straight towards Earth. They try their best to get it, but they couldn't get it.
Every few years they talk about
it's a movie.
I thought that was something. I thought that was another movie. I thought that was with Bruce Willis and all them when they went to go blow up the asteroid.
I think that was the movie.
They wanted to get rid of it, but it was kind of like a, you know what I'm saying, like a parody, but it wasn't. Like, nobody's serious about it because everybody's like, "Oh, it's fine."
No,
everybody died pretty much at the end of the movie.
You know, Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
She ran up on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it.
Got slapped by security guards.
Yeah.
However, the slap really wasn't a slap.
It was like pushback.
It was more like she was running up to him and she was about to tap him on the back, and the security guard was like, "Oh, wait, hold! Right. I'm just gonna shoo you out the way. Don't touch him." And her hand or his hand hit her in the face or whatever.
Security treating everybody like they nobodies. You got to watch what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what she was saying. That's what Britney came out saying. She was like, in all my years of, being in Hollywood and all this and all that, I've never had the experience of another celebrity's security guards treating people.
I don't know I don't know if it's security is from France. They could be, and they just French and don't know. You know what I mean? We who knows? I don't know. But that could be it. But you know what I'm saying? We just gonna go with that. They was French and they didn't know her.
Right.
You know, but we'll see. She wants a whole investigation. I think she tried to press charges, everything. She's tripping.
Yeah, she did, but
I think she got.
But no charges were filed against Victor Wembanyama security guard. They
didn't file.
They didn't file any charges. No.
She just wants but they did apologize. Wembanyama did come on and apologize and said he didn't know it was her and she.
But I mean, you know,
his back was turned.
She really don't look like Britney Spears no more. She don't look like she did years ago.
Like if you see the video,
she getting old and washed up now.
You're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatever, man. But all right, let's go to the sports real fast. We don't have much today on that.
Then we can hit some comics.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're about to get up out of here.
Okay.
Habari Sports.
The big story for me, you know, got the summer league going on. Jimmy said Wembanyama got dunked on. Who you don't know who it was?
It was by nobody.
Wow.
It was by nobody.
Man, I a couple of people had said he might not be as good as they said, but we gonna see.
Remember
man.
What happened with what's his name? Bamba?
Yeah, man, Mo Bamba and all them
Bobo. His disappointing debut.
I hate to laugh at the dude, but you know what I mean? He just it was so much hype. And then, you know what I mean? It's hard to meet that hype. LeBron, he was one of the people that was able to. But, dude, he is 7'5", built like a whole bunch of string beans.
They said once the game started, the crowd became less and less excited.
As he looked like more and more trash.
2 for 13 from the field.
Oof.
9 points in 27 minutes.
Ooh,
8 rebounds, 5 blocks.
I saw the clip. I'm like, that was bad. That was pretty bad.
In San Antonio, 76-68 win.
Oh, they won?
And everybody trying to have so much hope from him.
Yeah.
They talk about throw-ins don't count.
Well, the thing is, he been playing over there in France. You know what I'm saying? They think that's the same as playing over here, but it's not. You know what I mean?
It's really not.
We ain't gonna know what he gonna be until we see him. So I mean, dude.
But they played the Hornets though.
The Hornets are trash, and they still smopped them up. Well, they won, so that's all that matters. Hopefully, he looks better next game. He probably, he's getting acclimated to what's going on. It's his first game on America's soil, I believe, in a while. He's played one before, I believe. But we got Damian Lillard. He said he wants to get traded. I would like to see him go to the 76ers. I don't know how they'll work. They still got a James Harden.
I'll put Harden at the 2. That's where he belongs.
Trade him to Portland, and then Portland can get him over to the Clippers. They can do a 3-team trade or something. Portland get some draft picks or something. I think that would be straight. I think
Rockets beat the Trailblazers last night.
Yeah, summer league. I don't even. I like to watch the games to see the players that were drafted to see how good they were, but the actual outcomes, I don't really care.
Sit out Chris Paul,
But yeah, that's all I really cared, man, about this year on that. We got Damian Lillard, but summer league's going on. Wembanyama got ducked on. But let's go to Comic Book Corner.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
Secret Invasion, man. This week, Nick Fury. I think
he a Skrull.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm so lost. But anyway, everybody a Skrull right now at this point. But it's just kind of it's kind of dope that they was talking about his history, how he became Fury, and a little bit of that stuff. A little bit how the Skrulls helped him to get to how dope he is. A little bit, about his relationship with his wife, and how he ducked out on her for pretty much 7 years, 8 years. So they really haven't had much of a relationship. But it's kind of dope to see everything that's going on with it, man. I think it's going in a good direction. There's 3 episodes left to see what happened. Episode 4, I think, is going to finally start hitting the fan with a lot of things that we think is supposed to happen. So it's still is really good. So, what up?
There is a big theory going around
Mm-hmm.
that the main villain could possibly be
Gravik.
Yeah, could possibly be
Nick Fury's son. I don't think so, because he was introduced to him
in
97. So that means that he would have to know the scrolls another 15, 16 years earlier than that.
Right.
So I don't think so. But they are using them like a son dad type situation though, that they're going against each other. But I don't think the timeline don't really add up for that. But I was thinking that his son was gonna come out of this, because Nick Fury can't do this forever. He's getting up there. He's 70, I believe 65, 70 years old, somewhere in there. So he's gonna have to lay this down soon. So I thought they were gonna start setting the framework for him to have a son that comes out of somewhere. I still think it's gonna happen, because somebody's got to replace this dude. So we'll see what happens on that. Yeah, that's all I really got this week. What you got?
Jennifer Gardner is picking up Elektra's Sigh once again. After nearly 20 years. She is returning to the MCU.
It was so bad, dog.
According to multiple sources to The Hollywood Reporter, she will be reprising her role as Elektra in Deadpool 3.
Okay.
So, there's been a lot of news about different cameos we're going to get.
Everybody and their auntie is going to be in this movie so far.
So
the whole X-Men.
Right. So we're
going to see how good the movie actually is.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil supposed to be in it.
Right. So I mean, Elektra was always a horrible casting for this movie, because Elektra is supposed to be Asian.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. We'll just see. It'll be dope. Hopefully,
I think they cast her better when they cast her in the
most definitely in the new one.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I'm saying that it's Deadpool going around and murdering all these people.
Right.
That'll be fun to see.
Speaking of Deadpool, there's new set photos.
Oh yeah.
He has a whole new suit. Not like a whole new suit, but it's like newer.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Did they show your boy? Oh, okay.
This one.
You doing share screen?
I put it on
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll put it right there. That's one of them. And this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a new suit.
Yeah, so and it's like more a bright red. And if you look closely, I don't know if you noticed, but you look right here.
Is that Magneto?
Yep.
In the back seat? It looks like
it is.
It looks like it. So yeah. That sure look like old Magneto on the back seat
of a minivan.
Yeah, so it might be all type people in there. Yeah, this movie is good. Hey man, this movie is gonna be. It's gonna be it, man. This one's gonna be the one out of this phase that everybody lose their mind. Last phase, I think it was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was really good though.
This one's gonna be this, because it's gonna bring so many mutants into the thing that we have been clamoring for about 10 years. You know what I mean?
We're all just nerds. We're
nerds. Yeah, definitely nerds. All right, man, run the game before we can get up out of here.
Let's get ready to play trivia for Loot. Sponsored by
Let me check.
You got to load it in.
Yeah, you have to pull it in.
I'm gonna do a quick commercial. Sorry, guys. So just make sure.
Because they try to
welcome a couple things
has been back, everybody.
Let's play some trivia.
Salute.
See what we can do.
All right, we got a total of 10 questions for you here, Ralph. If you get 7 out of the 10 correct, we will give you a free t-shirt.
Yeah. We have to make it, but yeah.
All right. First question is, what U.S. state grows coffee beans?
Oh my goodness.
I think I know.
California.
Yeah, I know there's some, like,
California? Hey, that's a good guess. What's the answer though?
It is not California. That would be Hawaii.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to rain a lot, I would think, for places for coffee to grow.
All right. Our next question is, who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner?
Whitney Houston.
Francis
Stop
Scott
it.
Key.
That's my favorite
Francis Scott Key.
Whoa. I didn't know.
one. I feel like Whitney Houston's the only person I can hear.
That's horrible.
How many Billboard #1 hits did Elvis have?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Was he country western?
I don't know.
37.
Right, that's a good guess. 45.
No and no.
What?
The answer is 18.
Oh, well. They said he was the king. We thought we had more than that.
I have a question.
What up?
It says it's on up here, but it's not showing up on Facebook.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know.
As long as it's on here and it's on there, it's
All right,
fine.
the next
I
question
don't have nothing to do with that.
is, what year
It's probably just a Facebook problem.
was the
Probably.
first Batman comic book published?
Ooh.
It's sure black. I don't know why.
Is it 1968?
It is not.
You have the camera in the. I don't know why it's not showing that. I don't know. Maybe put it on the
1940.
side by side, bro. Say what now?
What year was the first Batman comic book published?
I'm gonna say 1942.
That's way too early. That's like Superman.
No, 1950.
No,
do-
no, and no.
1956.
No, it was 1939.
Dang.
Dang.
Yeah, man, it's old, man.
Batman
That
old.
That long?
Batman is
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, it's not showing the
game?
the slide for some reason.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm,
I'm
either.
sorry.
It's all good. Just let it go.
Okay. Who voiced Miss Frizzle on the children's television series
Who would know this?
Magic School Bus?
Nobody knows this, bro.
That means you ain't
I
watched
think I
Magic
know it.
School Bus.
Robert Williams.
I think I know it.
I have no
Is it-
idea. Dorothy Dandridge.
No.
Is it Lily Tomlin?
He's
He
cheating.
cheating.
Man,
He looking at the
come on,
answer.
man. You cheat. You don't know. No, you don't even know who that is.
He don't
man.
even know who it is.
Boo. He's cheating. Is it Lily Tomlin?
Right. Knowing that the Magic School Bus
He
did.
even said it's not. No. I used to watch Magic School Bus all the time in St. Louis. That
That
was my show. We had VCRs.
We don't believe you.
The little orange tapes.
All right.
Lily Tomlin. He's cheating. He cheated somehow. You just didn't see it, bro. He's a good cheater.
I'm not a good cheater.
All right. What percentage of the Earth's wildlife is found in the ocean?
60%.
I'm going to say 80%.
It's 65.
No, no, and no.
Wow.
But you were close at saying 80.
Mm-hmm.
It's 94%.
Yeah, it's pretty much all of them. I knew that, though.
All them lions, tigers.
Yeah,
and
because
bears.
we haven't murdered everything in the ocean yet. That's all. Because we suck.
We haven't found everything yet.
Yeah, man. Down in the
That
deep
is true.
depths, we haven't been able to get down there and kill everything yet.
All right. Our next question is, where are crickets'
Who
ears
the hell no?
located?
Trick question. They don't have any.
Yeah, that sounds good too. They don't have any because if they listening to that crap that they be playing,
How about on their feet?
On their legs.
on their feet,
Yeah.
It's close.
on
their
their
legs.
knees. Dang,
their
I was
legs.
gonna say that.
I guessed it.
It is their
You
legs.
said they didn't have any.
Hey, that was the first try. The second try, I said under
They
legs.
wow.
Second try, you
So
cheated.
so when they're doing that stuff on their legs, that's what they're
That's where
doing.
their feet are. Come on.
Dang, that's crazy.
You gotta give me that.
Yeah.
Which number does every major league baseball player wear on April 15th?
This should be easy.
42.
That's what.
Why are you gonna take the answer?
That was a guess. I promise you. I didn't even know.
You did.
I really didn't. I don't watch
That's
baseball.
what I would say.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it.
I really did.
Jackie Robinson.
I thought it was Josephine.
All right. We are down to our
my
last
bad.
2 questions.
I don't know why it's not showing the question, man. It's weird.
The question is, when was Diet Coke introduced in the United States?
That's a good question, bro. Diet Coke. What you think, Ralph?
Oh wow. 78.
78. I'm gonna say 65.
I'm gonna say 82.
We know you looking. So Ralph was the closest.
Uh-huh.
It is 1982.
Really? I promise you, I was not.
Uh-huh.
That was just a guess.
To be
I promise you.
specific,
Uh-huh.
it was introduced August 9th.
For some reason I thought it was around
1982.
before the 80s. I didn't think that it didn't because it was big in the 80s. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. All right.
Right. This may be a trick question for you.
Last question.
Crazy.
Last question. What year was eBay founded?
That's a trick question because I have no idea. And I was around, so I know. And I still don't know. 94. 93.
Oh wow. But 98. But it's in that area.
2002.
Close. It was 95.
95. I
95.
said 94. Yeah, it had to be in the 90s because that was the boom. eBay, Yahoo, all the big ones came
I
out.
still be on eBay to this day.
Yeah, eBay still does its thing,
It
man.
does.
It's still a used site, so it's not a site that just goes away.
You cheating. I could be smart something.
But yeah, man, we want to thank you, Ralph Coltrin, for coming through, bro. We really appreciate you coming to and telling your story about the tragedy on Mount Baldy. Go get the book Death Clouds on Mount Baldy by Kathy Hufalt, right?
Yeah, who followed?
Right. And it's a great book, man. We're gonna definitely make sure we read every word of this. Look it up, man. If you are also interested, it's good. It's good reading on Google. Also, I found a lot of information about it there, and I read up a lot about it, what's going on, and how this tragedy unfolded and how everything came together. But make sure you guys check it out, man. Go and read up on this this great story. It's a tragedy, but it's also, people survived. So it's good and it's bad. So you have to, take it with a grain of salt on when you're thinking about those situations. And it's always just dope to just think how you could have, what you could have, if you could have. Because you're a person, what you
What's
went
crazy,
through.
what I find crazy is that the tragedy happened in 1958,
Mm-hmm.
but this book did not come out until 2010.
Right.
That was when it was first published.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Is that because of
in 2000? Well, we never thought about it.
Yeah.
In 2008, I was asked to give that talk at the Scout Museum, and that's when the idea came up.
It's a good book.
And my sister asked me to do it. I said, be a short one. So she did it. She did all the work. But another little interesting little ditty about it.
Yeah.
The marker at Josephine. We wondered who put up the wooden marker. We knew who did the original metal sign,
Right?
But we couldn't. It said Troop 245, I believe, and we found no record of that. We went to the Scouts. No, never heard of it.
Right.
And we almost gave up on it. And I play a lot of golf, but this one particular group I play on Mondays, and I always check off yes every Monday. So every Monday I'm playing. I walk in there one Monday. Oh, you're not signed up. I always sign up. So they don't let me play. So I walk out and join these 3 guys. And pretty soon we started talking about it. And this guy I'm playing with, his dad put up the sign.
Wow.
explain that to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did he ever explain what Troop 245 was?
Yeah, nobody knew it, but like I say, here I get paired with this guy, and his dad put it up.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Small world, man. Yeah. And, you know, it all sometimes, you know, things like that just come to you, how things happen. And it always comes back to you, man. But I want to thank you again, Ralph. Thank you for having the strength to come through and talk to us, bro. We really appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, for watching this week. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Welcome back from Arkansas.
Arkansas. I was in Arkansas, guys.
Oh,
I was in Arkansas.
Arkansas. Oh, yeah. Ali,
you're not. Give yourself a womp womp.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Ali,
Arkansas.
But anyway, thanks, Iesha. And right on, guys. Check you out next week. Peace.
Holla, holla.
Thank you.
On everything.
It was just black for the game.
Yes, I did. How are you gonna sit up there then?
And then we're going to take a couple of photos before you guys leave.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube